Tonight's tactical enhancement is the last of the Shivers Regal and quite possibly the first of the Tocky. Tonight we're playing Warhammer 8th edition, and while Shaun revs up his magic phase, I will show you what we're doing. It's 2,500 points, and Shaun decided that after the last game of his Chaos Army here against my Dark Elves, he wanted to fight my other armies with it and see how it fares against those. So first cab off the rank is the Dwarfs. I got so enthusiastic I did a Werewolf Army too, but I thought no, I said I'd do Dwarfs, we'll start with those. The Dwarfs today, a horde of warriors with great weapons and shields. I don't know why they got shields, you got nothing that fucking shoots, but I always give them shields. 50 points I got that back. 25 Longbeards with, what do I put on these guys? They've got a magic standard that makes them stubborn, what a surprise. Then I've got 24 warriors next to them, just with shields and hand weapons. 10 handgunners and another 10 handgunners, both with shields and Santa Claus apparently. And we've got an organ gun with a ring that gives a +1 to hit. A flame cannon.
Oh god, the one that never hits.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put a rune on that actually. And I've got a cannon with a rune that stops it blowing up basically. The standard bearer, or beer stein holder, I like to think of him, has got Master Rune of Brungi, so he's got the wards. There's a 6-inch 5+ ward and 4+ generally. And a Rune of Stoicism, so he's stubborn. Rommel Armor, Shield, Ancestor Rune, so we can do a one-off leadership test on 1d6. Well, that makes him, and whatever unit he's in, pretty much not going to go away on the first turn. And next to him we have the dwarf equivalent of a Koenig's Tiger, an Oathstone, Gromrel Armor, Shield. Hits on a 2+, he's ×2 strength against, so strength 8 versus toughness 5 or higher enemies. He's got +1 attack, so he's got 5 attacks, and he's got a 4+ ward. And with the Rune of Stone as well, he's got 2+ armor under that. And I'm not focusing on the miniature because I'm trying to read from a piece of paper at the same time I'm fielding. Oh, that's professional stuff around here, mate.
This is correct.
And on the opposing team, it's much the same we had before.
We've got the 2 ogre units that almost won the game for me. And
that's right. They fucking had to go.
They had to go with 4 chariots, something for your cannons to shoot.
Is that what we had last time?
Yes. This is exactly the same army. I said I'm going to bring it and play all your armies. We've got 3 units of marauders with javelins. We've got Exquisite of Pain, and he's a level 2 who you shot with the repeated bolt throwers. And now I forgot how deadly they were, and ran out silly in front. You know, like what was I doing?
Well, the dice are very favourable for that one.
Well, you failed. You did 1 wound with 1, and then you hit the other one, and then like dead.
Yeah. But I mean, it really only got like a.
Punching it too.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It was
my stupid.
Statistically unlikely, but it was good.
No, and then you got the commander.
Ah, yes, this fellow.
Level 4. You have 4 chaos chariots. They're all Slanish, by the way, everything.
That's right. So
Just
chaos
to be
chariots.
annoying.
Some of them are
Orcs for now. Still.
Yeah, some of them are in disguise.
Yes, and we've got 3 units of 5 chaos knights with musicians.
Yeah, which is a lot of points, from what I understand.
That's what are they?
Wow.
They're 230 points. It's not that bad. For one, for what they do, and you got to deal with 3 units. Mind you, I've got to deal with your themed army of 3 blocks.
Oh no, change it up. It's different. Normally I'd have iron breakers there, and maybe a chopper or something. But I decided to bring handgunners, which I hardly ever do. In fact, this is all core, except for the cannons.
That's very unique. That's good.
I haven't done it. I thought I'd just mix it up because it's done the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's dull.
Well, normally I do something different, but I want to try this.
Yeah, you've
Couple
been
of
throwing
times,
variety at me, but
I always do variety, but I thought, oh no, I want to try this.
yeah, I want to throw my wood elves at this army as well. I've got no idea how they will go.
Wood elves are not
Hmm.
yeah, do something. Yeah, do poison or something.
Yeah,
otherwise
well,
it's
I'm not
gonna
doing
do-
the shit I've been
You
doing.
might have to do that because I can't. I don't know. It might not work because you still got to. These knights are going to be a pain in the ass.
They will be a pain in the
And
ass.
if you've got a couple of blocks, I don't know. You had a dragon. Didn't I kill your dragon last time I played your? Yes, I charged in the flank,
Quite possible. It happens
and
occasionally.
you ran just by one, and I ran you down and killed you, and in doing so lost more guys. And I made what you had strength 6 strike first weapon, and I made all my armor saves with the knights or something.
Well, that would do it. Yeah, I do remember I had a rather rough time with my wood elves and with my dark elves against this your chaos armies. But,
No, your dark elves smashed me last week.
oh, last week.
Last time,
The previous time you took a different army, you had more infantry, and I took my dark elves against it, and I did not do very well.
I can't remember.
It was a while ago. Anyway, so that's the armies. We will now deploy, and we'll have a squiz at that before we get into turn 1. Right, deployment is complete. Shaun had to put a unit down first, but that doesn't matter because he's got so damn many of them. The dwarf line, normally I take an aggressive stance for the dwarfs and to march forward, but this time I thought I'll hang back because pretty much the entire chaos army is melee. And their spells have to roll extra dice if they want to do things at long range. So I've anchored the left flank with longbeards and I like to run away. The general in the ranks, flame cannon, Hordo choppers, cannon in the middle to reach out and touch somebody.
Oh, touch someone in the ass.
Yeah, so somebody in something. Handgunners over here, doing just, well, we'll see how they go. They're going to have tigers. Organ gun, which is good, because he's put down a lot of Chaos Knights over here, and the organ gun's probably a good choice against those. This is a bit soft though. These 25 chappies here, they'll probably be right in their first round of combat, then it's all going to turn to shit for them. So we'll see how it goes on the flank here. Suffice to say, it's a target-rich environment. Now Shaun's got a whole lot of. Can that character actually move forward when
He is on a fast cavalry steed.
Oh, he's on
Yes.
fast
That's the
cavalry
only
steed,
reason
right.
why he can do it.
Right, I
Otherwise
see.
he can't.
Oh, that's cunning, that is.
Yes.
So there's 3 units running forward. The Chaos Ogres over there. Chariot, a bit hard for me to do anything about at this point.
Are we going to determine what this is? Is this impassable again?
So that's
Impassable to
impossible
chariots?
to chariots, but I just don't waste my time on slowing down the game by making it a problem for anybody else.
Okay.
And yes, because over there's a fuckload of weight of really nasty, heavy chaos stuff. So he's going to come down the right flank, as I suppose you do.
And then they're going to come around here on the left flank.
Yes,
And then we're going to have a cream pie in the middle.
Well, you can film that on your own phone.
We can we'll have a meet up at Bugman's in the centre of the table. have a three-way.
Ugh. On that
That'd be a
note,
lot of hair everywhere with that one.
let's roll for turn 1, and fuck, I hope it's me.
It's a 4.
Oh,
That's a
it's
draw.
3. It is a draw. Let's roll that again.
Ah.
Oh shit.
Well, I've got to roll 2. I can still roll a 1 on this. 3.
Oh, bugger.
I win.
He gets a 3. It's turn 1 for chaos. Why does this always work out this turn when around I'm fighting you?
Can't charge.
End of chaos turn 1. The most annoying thing is that they got to move before I shot. He tried some magical whoop-de-doo. First thing was to reduce the best skill on this. So it's now just a standard instead of +1. Then he did another spell which reduces toughness just in time for these vanguard troops here to run up and throw javelins at it, which did nothing.
Yeah.
And he tried, his level 2 mage, tried to knock a wound off my general.
No, off your organ gun, actually.
Really? You're trying to get my organ gun?
Yeah, because if I did 2 wounds and I did a 3rd one, it's all dead.
Right, really keen on that apparently.
Well.
Well, anyway, that didn't work because I managed to dispel it. So that's it. And as you can see, the encroachment has begun, as it always does with Shaun. MSU champion, literally. Right, well that's it. That's turn one for Chaos. It's worth noting the cavalry moved a bit slower because I had to come out of the woods, which presumably was to stop me from shooting them if I got turn one. So yeah, we'll now move into turn one for the Dwarfs.
Who says we aren't brave? I want to be a Chaos Warrior.
Well, after a very strange Dwarf turn one, we moved up here to give the flame cannon some protection against at least one of those units, thinking that we would plaster that one with fire, then maybe those chaps as well. Then naturally rolled a misfire in the first fucking roll, and it's not shooting this turn or next turn, so frankly, you can kill it. I don't care, the bastards aren't doing their job. These guys moved up in order to deal with what will be the main problem over there. The cannon clobbered a couple of these guys, and then the handgunners here killed another one. These handgunners did nothing, and the organ gun also rolled a misfire on its first shot, and a 2 on the other dice. You see, the last couple of games I've had against Shaun, he's taken 2 of these things and he's rolled up fuck tons and fuck tons over and over and over again, and I do it back to him, and what do I get? A misfire and a 2.
But you didn't take an engineer, which is what gives me, so I could have you could have re-rolled that misfire. And that's the difference.
I gotta take an engineer, this is
So it's 70 extra points. And
Well,
it gives you a re-roll on the misfire.
I mean, the
you could have
rune's
rolled
like-
a 10, and then you could have had 10 shots at me.
I see the drama here. Well, I'm gonna have to start doing that because the rune I put in it to give it a +1. So the engineer gives a +1 to hit, right?
You use his ballistic skill, so it's the same thing.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, +1 and re-roll.
Yeah, an engineer is actually a really good deal for an organ gun. I might have to start doing that.
It's a little bit expensive, so it's an extra.
Well, not really when you factor in the runes you'd need in order to get the same effect, and you get the guy.
Yeah, so it's effectively
Usually
like a
fight.
4. Yeah, it's
All right, that's it. I'm gonna start taking engineers. Over here, my infantry charged these twerps. They killed one with javelins on the way in, so they're quick to fire. They killed one in the melee, which is a bit embarrassing. And then
You slaughtered 3.
I killed 3, which is I just had this fistful of 1s and 2s to wound. And then they rolled fucking snake eyes to stick around. But this actually is not bad, because I'll just kill them next turn.
Yeah.
And it means that I'm not chasing them to try and finish them off. Oh. And it means I'm not sitting there with my dick in my hand waiting for you to hit them with something else after I've run forward. So you're not going to charge me this coming turn, you're too far away. So yeah, I can live with this, it's alright. We'll do them slowly, like Paul Keating.
Yes. Yeah.
Another peculiar turn. It's turn 2 for the Chaos Warriors this turn. They've been moving up, but Shaun's choosing his moment as to when to attack, because that horde can do some damage. The 2 cav that were left against that unit did nothing and died appropriately. I have to work out what to do with these chaps next, because I couldn't advance after that. Let's see. He cast a spell which reduced the ballistic skill on this thing by 3 for this turn, so it's going to be hitting on 6s. That's a bit annoying. These chaps came maneuvered around the side here to do something next turn, sort of hemming in this lot. And you reduce the strength of this unit for 1 turn, which is completely irrelevant to anything that's going to happen next turn, so I let that through.
Yeah.
So I've got to do some careful manoeuvring now, because dwarves are, like Kimberly said, very dangerous at short distances. They're not quite short enough at the moment, but there's a lot of reach in Shaun's army, so I've got to manoeuvre carefully, get some shots out, work out what the hell I'm doing. And on that note, we'll check in at the end of Dwarf turn 2. Dwarf turn 2, continue the theme. We charged these guys into here, and it was a tie.
Yes.
Partly because the Chaos horses rolled up a fucking storm. As Shaun put it, the horsies won the day.
Yes.
But we didn't lose, and that's important. This organ gun actually killed 2 Chaos Knights, hitting 6 to hit, or 5s. We did some stuff with runes. This cannon fell short. It rolled a 2 and a 2, and I needed a 5 to hit somebody. I was hoping it'd roll through and get the chariot behind, but twice in a row down now, it's been very mediocre. Well, no, I killed 2 knights last turn, it wasn't too shit. That guy can't do anything. Now, I moved these guys back to make Shaun manoeuvre a bit more before he barrels on in. These guys, I figured I couldn't cover all angles to protect the gun, so I didn't even try. What I did instead was I charged the light cav, they fled, and I did a redirect into the level 2 mage who was flapping around in the breeze by himself, who was also fled. He's now separated from any other units.
But he is fast cavalry. Remember, he can rally and move on the turn. If he rallies, he can move.
So I'm not sure if it counts as fast cavalry if you're just an infantry, if you're just
he
a
can
single
shoot.
character.
You can move and shoot if you can't charge.
Yeah.
Fast cavalry's got some nice.
As long as he can't do spells, we'll have a look at that.
I'm pretty sure he can do spells.
Well,
if he's rallied, if you rally, you can do spells.
We'll argue about this shortly. But what it means is I've got my dick hanging in the breeze over here. If he goes for the flank charge with that chariot, I've got a problem. Although, yes, we might go for these guys and fuck them up and cause my back line some problems. We'll see how it pans out.
Okay.
It's early days. Over to turn 3 for chaos.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah.
Chaos half of turn 3, and they got in with a fuck ton. Well, they launched a fuck ton of charges. Most of them got in. That one crashed into the handgunners. Took a wound on the way in from fire. Then cleaned. Well, it killed a bunch of handgunners.
Killed 4.
Then they fucked off rather hurriedly off the table. That was unfortunate. This guy.
Killed
the
the
difference
cannon.
between psychotic heavy cavalry versus light cavalry. Light cavalry, don't worry too much. They hit a cannon, but these guys just smashed it. These guys did the same to another cannon. The cannon just had a very bad day today. Over here, I actually lost this combat by 1, partly because it's such a narrow frontage on these ogres. So I didn't have as many attacks back as I thought I was going to have. And in the magic phase, Shaun actually he rolled really well on 2 dice. Okay, so we got 3 dice in the magic phase. That means I got 2. Shaun got 3. He rolled 2 with his level 4 guy and rolled double 5. That meant I need double 6 to try and stop him from reducing the strength of this unit. That was rat shit. So I let that through, then I stopped the next spell. That did probably preserve a few of these guys' lives. Ended up winning by 1. It was a very close run thing. Let's see. These guys tried to charge in here as well, and they failed to make the charge. Don't know what the hell that guy did. Did he try and charge something?
No, he was
Right.
too busy looking at his porn channel.
Oh, God. And these guys charged in, and in a fine example of light cavalry, they actually charged in column and did nothing, and I killed one of them in return. But because they charged and they had a musician, yes, they won. The light cav kept running, and we finished our argument about whether this guy counts as light cavalry, and it turns out he's on a character mount, and the mount in the army book specifies that it's light cavalry. Fast cavalry. Yeah. So he actually does get to rally and then go about doing all the normal things that he would do, which Shaun tells me that includes casting magic, but that would not normally be the case with fast cavalry, but it's a character mount that a mage can take, so we figure he can. After sorting all that bullshit out, he then failed fucking rally anyway.
On your lower.
Not that he would have had any magic dice to use in this turn because Shaun rolled
I
3
might
points of
have
magic.
channeled, and that could have made a
Oh,
little
he might
difference.
have well, yeah,
Yes.
possibly. So this game is swinging backwards and forwards. This unit here actually won the fight by 1, but they stuck around.
Yay!
I don't think I'm going to pull that off a second time in a row, so I'd fucking better do some damage elsewhere. Killing these guys off would be a good start. Oh my lordy my! And we'll see what else we can do. It's a bit of a mess. Oh well, we'll check in.
Let's see what happens, chaps.
We'll check in after turn 3 Dwarf. Right, Dwarf turn 3, their carnage continues apace. Let's see. These guys, well, firstly I manoeuvred this guy around. That's about all I could really do. These guys stood and shot at these guys and killed 1. They're going to get cleaned up in a second. These guys killed off 2 of the gunners this time. Shaun right up a storm. But I did get 1 in return. We'll be there for another turn or so. Over here, yes, I didn't repeat the mayhem of last time. We actually lost, but we did hold, which is great until you factor in the chariot that's going to come up the clacker next turn. Over here, we had a bit of a slaughter fest. I did a bit better this time, and these last 2
ran away.
Yeah. They'll probably rally in a minute, but good news is they're in the way of one of the chariots.
Yes.
So we'll see what combo of mayhem Shaun throws at me in a moment. There's still these guys on the wings waiting to do something. Shaun said I'd set him up a nice flame charge here. I said, who cares?
He's welcome to it.
Yes, and
Yes.
Shaun said, well, that's the bloody problem with dwarves.
That is a problem with dwarves, yes.
Yes. So we've still got a decent bit of fight left.
Oh, yes.
It's all going to fall apart over there, but I may yet be able to bring it back over here. We'll see how we go. Because you've got a bunch of damaged heavy cavalry units, but not dead yet. That's a bit of a problem.
You're not getting any points out of them. In fact, you haven't got much points at all.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about getting points out of them. I'm more worried about how much damage things can do. If you decide to run away with your army to save points, then that'll make for a very boring game. You'll win,
Yes.
but you'll be humiliated on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes. It's fine.
On that note, on to Chaos turn 4.
Wow. Okay.
Right, while Shaun's complaining about his dice, this was the end of turn, what was it, 4 for the Chaos Warriors? Now, let's see, because he rolled a load of absolute dog shit over here, even though he charged into Clacker with his chariot, they only actually killed one guy.
Because I rolled 1 on the impact hits.
And I rolled a whole lot of other ones too.
Yeah.
I did lose one guy, but I still was rolling on Steadfast. They, I thought, would be dead by now, but they'll have another melee round. This lot charged in, we shot and we pegged one with the pistols, nothing with the other firearms.
No, he bounced off. He nearly saved.
Or whatever it is, 2 units of 2 charged in, and I lost one guy. I didn't do anything back to him, but we held.
Yeah, I rolled shit. It's really impressive.
Here, rolled
One impact.
shit again, 1 impact. It lost, but it stuck around.
Stuck around just by 1.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was rather good rolling there. Over here, look, he charged in, he actually killed quite a few in the end.
10?
9.
9.
But we bumped off 6 of them,
6 wins. You did.
and we managed to reform on the morale test. So, in the general, even though he's only toughness 4, so he doesn't get his boosted strength, he still managed to bump off 3 wounds, which is pretty decent. Hitting on a 2+ really helps. Over here, these guys did nothing against the flame cannon, and the last dude bumped off. Now, that last guy has bumped off 2 of these chaps.
Done well.
So the flame cannon has done more in melee than it's done in shooting.
And I failed to
Yeah, and
failed to rally again.
these
Either
guys-
one on 9s.
These
I
guys
rolling
kept
9s.
running. That's hilarious. And I think the actual magic was 5.
But I failed on the first roll. I rolled 3 dice to roll 10 plus with +4, and I didn't roll enough
Yeah,
to
you
get the
rolled
first spell
4,
off.
so you got
And that
totally.
basically he's effed everything.
Yeah, that really didn't help because you couldn't reduce the strength or toughness of any of my units.
Well, I could. There's 3 or 4 spells I could cast, and I've got nothing left to cast.
Yeah.
It really hurt. That really hurt.
So, kind of
Anyway.
a frustrating turn for Chaos, but I'm just not managing to crack anything either. We'll see if we can change that in Dwarf turn 4.
That was frustration.
Alright, a semi-successful turn. We killed off the chariot there, but then we couldn't do anything like chase it down into those guys, so that's annoying. We lost, I don't know, 3 guys here, but we held. That wasn't so flash. And they're just going to get, they broke fine. It's kind of to be expected. They were getting smashed on both ends. Even dwarfs don't like that. Well, not without an oath stone. So next turn, this guy will no doubt chase down the remaining 6, and they'll have to flee again, and they'll all die. Probably. We'll see what happens. Weirder things have happened. What else? Oh yeah, these guys took on those ogres and killed a bunch of them. Lost a bunch of guys in return, but we had to stand at an extra rank. So we ran them down and finished off the last on the pursuit, which is good because it gets that extremely expensive unit out of charge arc of that thing, which I'd be able to kill,
Yes, you
but
would.
probably not before it did an awful lot to these chaps. Oh, and this lone fucking psychopath, I don't know, he's been headbutting these fellas or something. He's killed 2. His mates, him and his mates killed 1 previously, and I suspect it was him all along. This thing's killed nothing. In fact, we even fired it this turn because he won the melee against them last turn. We fired it this turn, and he fucking still can't hit anything.
No. He hit, but he failed to win.
He should just give up this shit and just run into combat, you know. Somebody else could take over the big fucking wheel and he'll just go and headbutt somebody.
Probably.
On that note, that's the end of Dwarf turn 4, unfortunately. Into Chaos turn 4 now.
All right.
Right, well, it's continuing. What can I say? This thing charged that unit, and that the unit that it charged, which had already fled 12 the previous turn, fled another 12. That's 24 inches of movement in 2 turns. Who says that dwarves can't run? They charged this lot in here, and I chipped away wounds with it, but I already did about 4 wounds, and they did 10 to me, but that's also including impact hits. So pretty solid round there. It
Impact
issued a
hits
challenge, and that went onto my standard bearer. Over here, yeah, they killed 4, but these 2 bastards here just survived it somehow. Yeah, nothing was happening over there. Over here, that fellow finally rallied, but his mates fled off the table.
And the mates over there.
And these chaps, the other ones, the light cavalry, which are no longer here, the ones we were banging on about a moment ago, they fled off the table. So, Shaun's ratio of doing rally tests is not particularly high.
Thank God I'm not doing panic tests. Well, hang on.
Yeah, fucking slannish. Should they be doing panic tests, they'll be having a good day today.
Oh,
But alas, actually my flame cannon doesn't actually have anything to shoot at this turn.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, well, for you.
Finally.
Yeah, my gunnery did about as much as I expect from it. My handguns have done more fucking melee than they've done in the actual shooting. On that note, turn 5 for the dwarfs coming up. Yeah, unfortunately they've broken through. Well, fortunately for them. And it comes down to the fact that he killed off the standard bearer, because the standard bearer had enough runes on him that I would have been rolling as stubborn even with no ranks, and would have had another round to try and polish these guys off with a flank charge from them. As it turns out though, my standard bearer died in the melee, whiffed all his ward saves, and because this bastard had strength 7 instead of 6, I didn't even have any armor saves. So they've crashed on through, which means there's not much of my army left. Because the magic, it's worth bearing in mind the magic that got cast in the previous turn was still affecting my unit because it lasts for 1 turn. So they were still -1 strength and weapon skill, which made a huge difference. All those fucking rolling harder to hit basically than it should have been to hit the ogres more than anything else. Yeah, and the reduced strength was the difference between this guy bashing up this bloke versus being killed by him. So that's informative. Your magic, and I mean, I rolled shit all turn as well. So I think the rubber band effect has happened on the dice. This guy over here is still there somehow. They bumped off the champion, and of course we did nothing in return. So we both had a shit turn, one after another. Now it's Shaun's turn 6. Oh, dearie me. Right, we'll check in at the end of that. Right, well, just to add insult to injury, after the Chaos had reformed, the level 2 mage came over here and cast a spell on these guys. He tried one other thing which amounted to very little. Then cast a spell on these guys, which means they can't move normally, they can only move d6 in whatever direction they like.
Yes, random movement.
Now that was in your turn 6. In my turn 6, we decided to move into him, fought him, chased him off. That was weird.
Because you rolled a 6.
So it counts as a fatality. Now, the sole surviving handgunner finally died in melee. Then the flame cannon, actually, that happened in the Chaos turn 6, and the flame cannon in the Dwarf turn 6 finally hit something, finally got a shot off, killed 1 guy out of each of these 2 units, leaving 1 guy alive in each, so I get no fucking points out of this 500 points worth of material on the table. That is ripped off. Oh my god, what a shit show. We'll work out the points now. It's very, very lopsided, but we'll have a look and see what we did. Right, so this point of the shit show, we just worked out the points. I've got about 726 left on the table, which
is what you killed. Well,
yeah, so you killed about 1,700 and a bit. but then you get some points for the standards, most particularly the army standard areas.
150 points I got.
Yeah, you get 150 points in standards.
Yeah.
You know, you don't equip your guys with standards.
No.
So, oh my god! I just realised something.
No, you wouldn't have routed.
You have a standard in your ogre unit.
No, don't. It's just the character.
Okay.
It would have been a draw. You would have lost it.
Well, we fucked
You
some
was
things
by
up.
one.
We
You
fucked-
would have lost. You would not have lost, and you would, but you still held on a one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had a couple of rounds where we actually countered that in the combat.
That was the
resolution.
first round of combat only, and that was when. Yeah.
Anyway, we won't worry about that.
After that, he ran. I didn't count it.
We won't worry about that so much, but yeah, that was a bit of a foobar. There's always a few foobars. I don't think that was really the game turner though. The game turner was when you smashed my army standard bearer and broke what remained of that unit instead of them continuing the fight.
Yes.
That pretty much fucked it all up 6 ways from Sunday.
Yes.
I did work out that if I'd scored the extra 500 points, actually these bastards actually dying, which would have been nice. You still would have been probably about 300 points ahead. And
You've got
this ogre guy lasting
18.
on 2 points left.
I did.
That's quite a few points in
I've
that
done
unit.
11. I've done about 1,200 points margin. That's what it works out to. Yes.
Something of that vicinity.
Yes.
Yeah.
1,200. So
There's a lot of. To give you an idea how marginal it is, those two guys, 500 points. This bloke, not only is he whatever points that unit is worth.
250.
All right, so there's 700 and whatnot. If he had very conveniently fucking died, he's already wounded. If he finished off the last one with 2 wounds.
He's got 2 wounds left.
He
He made a lot of saves on a 5+.
Oh, he certainly did. Or indeed, if my guy had just made 1 ward save out of the ones that he lost, out of the 2 that he lost. This was a very, very close game on the dice rolls.
I could have stomped him.
Well, you tried.
But then you got a 3-up armor save because the stomp doesn't have strength 7.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh no, he's strength 7. So he would have been a strength. He would have been a strength 5 stomp.
Yeah, that's right. Toughness 5.
5.
Not too worried about that.
No, wait. Okay. It's anyway. It doesn't.
Yeah,
didn't happen.
it's still 5+.
Do
and then
do
one.
mention that when I rolled on the Eye of the Gods, I rolled a double 6,
Ah, yes.
and then I had to make a leadership test, and if I had made a 7 leadership test, he would have turned into a greater demon,
Well,
into a demon prince.
yes, well, the bastard, but not that it made any difference at that point in the game.
I don't know if you get points for the unit being destroyed, but I think you do.
Good question. Either way, that was
hairy as
this
hell.
this game. I mean, it's a big points difference, but it came down to some extremely fine differences in results in a minor number of places. So, anyway, Shaun,
Yes.
what have we learned?
Your table sucks for rolling dice for everybody, not just me. Fudge. How many ones did I roll in a row?
No, we both had some rather
That was
spectacularly bad
terrible.
luck.
I was like, look, my magic didn't go overboard, but it did enough to win. It really paid the money.
You got your points back on your magic.
And if it had I rolled like a 3+ on your weapon skill, or had I rolled, because every time I rolled to reduce your characteristics, I rolled a 1.
You got a good and proper a couple of times, but mostly you rolled ones.
I rolled 1s where it really sort of mattered, and I think one time I rolled -3 strength at the beginning of the game, and you were not even going into combat. And
Yes,
the
that's
second time
right.
I rolled 3. But can you imagine the difference? The 1 even made a difference, but wow, if it was like...
See, last game, your magic didn't do very much. This game, it just chipped away and chipped away and chipped away, and it was a decider. So it's shown what your army can do with the magic.
If it gets off.
Interestingly,
works.
it's shown what my army can do in terms of sticking around under pressure. But I didn't quite get my breakthroughs where I needed them.
No.
Because those combats with the horde, against all the things that you threw at them, they were 1 or 2 points off many times.
That horde is a nightmare to fight.
I'm glad, because it's a lot of points.
Yes, but that's the problem. When you lose it, wow, you know about it. Because it's like, I really need that to live.
Before that unit ran, I think you'd killed 40 guys plus a character. And the only reason it ran is because one the character went, otherwise it would have stuck around.
Oh yeah, it would have hung around like.
It would have rolled stubborn with 1d6, so it wouldn't have fled.
And the game all of a sudden doesn't. You don't lose the game. You may win the game.
Yeah, because my other unit was coming back for flank hit, I could have won the game at that point. So in some ways, the game turned on.
On the ogre, it was the star of the match.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other if buts and maybes. I mean, you can say, "Oh, this is the thing that made the difference," but really, there's
plus
lots
one,
of other.
the minus to your strength, the minus to your weapon skill, all added up. Because you need 4s to hit me, then you needed 4s to wound me instead of needing 3s to wound me and 3s to hit me.
And look, there are plenty of other silly things, like my cannons misfired like crazy in the first turn. So instead of blasting away a unit of cavalry, they did nothing. Although there is a lesson to take a engineer if you're going to take a organ gun.
Engineer, you use his ballistic skill, and all of a sudden.
I wouldn't waste time with an engineer and most of the other things, but with the organ gun, I think it makes a massive difference.
Well, I took 2 against you, and you saw what it did. It was like,
the horrendous.
Oh my god, was that just a nightmare to play against?
Yep. So in terms of actual tactics, what would you say about the tactics?
The dwarfs are hard to. You did the right thing. You played well. You did what I wanted you to do, though. You didn't come in to support your big unit with your general. You should have done that. I think you should have moved in.
You charged him, had to sort out those guys. That unit actually was coming in to support them.
But that's why I charged you. I had to charge you because I couldn't afford you to get in there.
If they'd come in and flanked into that area and they'd worked in combination, it would have been devastating.
Stuff, but you didn't. At the earlier stage, you sort of angled this way, which you shouldn't have done. You should have just gone straight in there, because your generals and you're stubborn. You don't care. You should have not angled. And as soon as you allowed me to go in there, you weren't facing it. Take a turn, and that's where it stopped you from getting in, and it allowed my ogres to get in.
The reason I didn't do that was because I didn't want you smashing 2 chariots into that unit, because that would have finished off the Longbeards. So I thought if I held back,
but
I
you
could take you on
had a full rank.
piecemeal.
You had a full rank of Longbeards.
Yeah,
You had a full
24. It may not have been the right call, but
and your guy, what's his strength? He doubles his strength against toughness 5.
true.
You would have just carved me up with it. You just want to go and smash the chariots.
Interesting point, because I haven't actually taken that combo before.
Do they do D3 wounds?
No, well, I could have, but then I would have lost out on ward protection for him.
Well, didn't. Oh, yeah, and you need that because you just don't know what's going to happen. What's his ward? Is it 4+?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's expensive. It's
45 points, I think.
So
he's a well balanced character, but you know what? With the 2+ to hit, he's still going to hit like 4 times on average, and with wound you on a 2+ against it, he's going to whack a chariot at 10.
Oh yeah, easy.
So I think I probably could have been more aggressive with that unit instead of holding back from the chariots for a turn.
It's hard to say.
Oh yeah, there's always, I mean, you being you might have decided, you know what, I'm going to throw 2 chariots and something else at that unit and dump all the magic on it. And then that unit would have been destroyed outright, lose the general, and changes the entire game from there on.
It's too hard, yeah. And I mean, I got lucky. I put that chariot in against you, and it held just long enough to die at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was trying to get into you with 3 chariots and drop your toughness down to like 2.
Yeah, I can see the and look, you were never going to get everything to work. Well, if you did, then that's really good dice rolls. But you got enough to work.
I got the right spells as well, because it's a bit tricky. I mean, I got 3 spells 3 and 4 on the shadows are the ones I wanted. If I hadn't got those, because we may not have got as. Anyway.
So yeah, I can see most of your army did what it was supposed to do, but I did think that there were a couple of points where I disrupted it reasonably well.
You did.
Plenty of dice rolls that could have gone differently, but that's
some gyrocopters. Come on.
I've only got 1. I insist on using my own miniatures that I've painted, and I've only got 1.
Borrow mine. Use those little bastards.
You know,
we should. Yeah, because.
Your army remains lethal. I've got to try and figure out how to fucking beat it using wood elves next. That's going to be hard work.
It's very hard. You just it's a challenge. I mean, look at it as just learning how to go, and it may work out well. Take some lethal spells. Take some strong magic.
Yeah. Magic's
Treatment
an issue.
maybe.
Yeah.
It was,
I've actually written up a list that I'm pretty happy with. I'm going to give it a crack. I might check the magic though.
It's not that easy to beat your Wood Elves last time. It was only because I killed the dragon. I think and that was lucky.
Yeah. You got sandwiched somewhere, I think.
I ran through a forest, hit you in the flank.
No, that's
survived,
right. That's
survived 4 strength 6 attacks. Didn't lose anybody. Then I had
That's right.
my
Your Chaos Warriors soaked up all my strength 6 attacks.
and then I had dropped your toughness down to 2. My wizard had blown up, casting it. And we managed to do just enough wounds so that you failed combat by 1. That was, and then I chased you through the forest, and I lost 2 guys. I think I had 1 guy.
That's right. Yeah, 2 guys died from getting clobbered by branches, and then the last guy killed a dragon. Something like that. It'll be somewhere in the history of videos on this channel.
Yeah, I chased you down, and
yeah,
just
spectacular.
So I had to chase you. I had to beat you in combat, chase you down. Yeah, it was.
And you'll get to try it again. Whenever we can get the next game up and running.
All right, that was tough. That was tough going. I know you might not think so. That was.
No, I know I made it tough, and I know it could have gone either way at a whole bunch of different points. It could have smashed me a lot sooner. It could have smashed you instead of me.
I didn't know you had the stubborn banner with the general, with a BSB. Right? I knew you were stubborn because you're steadfast. So I didn't think. Why would you waste? Yeah, and again, I think that's probably a waste of points. If you're going to have a unit that big, it's going to be stubborn all the time. It's no point taking a stubborn banner for 75 points.
No, because they can get hit in the flank. Well, I
But you're not going to get hit in the flank.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're clever. This is where you can save points and do something else like buy an engineer.
I've had so many games where I actually have needed the stubborn.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, usually because I'm getting clobbered by combos of cavalry in the flank and other things, and I never quite know which unit I'm going to put the character in because you never know what the other army is going to do. So I use the characters as something which I can use to make a variation to the army.
Yeah.
So you get a different combo of character in unit. But anyway,
try something less character wise, and try something without your big superhero character. And maybe
I should do that sometimes. I always
do it sometime.
Always take Mr. Beefcake.
Take a lot of this. I mean, maybe take a stubborn. Like I said, take a Morgan gun with a engineer. There's a special character which gives you Blizzard skill 5.
Oh, I don't take special characters on principle.
He's worth taking.
I'm sure he is statistics wise, but I feel like they're cheating.
Oh yeah, but take an engineer at least.
Anyway, it's a school night. I'm sure I'm slowly turning into a pumpkin. Thanks for watching. Feel free to hit like, subscribe, etc. Time to call it a night.